my Nipex pliers is very in vogue. I do find Nipex to be a very ubiquitous brand. Welcome to Simplified Sparky Marketing. In vogue means very popular, and ubiquitous means it's around and always has been there. This is exactly what I want to speak about, and that is corporate wanker talk and weasel words that are present in electricians marketing, and we want to eradicate them out of it. Because the more humanized you get with your marketing and the more you speak directly to your client at their level, something I spoke to the members last night about in the live session, is just lowering yourself to their level. For whatever reason, when we start marketing our business, we think that we have to be this huge authority to stand over them and just blurt jargon at them to make us sound like we know what we're talking about, to confuse them in hope that they buy our services. And it's the complete opposite is what you need to do with your marketing. It's all about nailing down your ideal client, your messaging to them. And a key part of this is literally eradicating all these weasel words out of your language, out of your website, your marketing. I told a story last night about when I had one of my first websites. I was putting the pages together and I built a page in regard to testing electrical work. And on that page, I'll never forget it, I had a bit about the type of meter that we use. And I stated that it was a state-of-the-art multimeter, Fluke Tester 1662 or whatever the reference is. It can do this, it can do that. It's absolute state-of-the-art equipment. All I had to say in that situation was, we've got the equipment that can find your fault rapidly. Therefore, the client's issue is solved immediately. They don't have to fucking scratch their head and go, what the fuck is a Fluke 1662? What does it do? What is that thing in the yellow box? That is the confusion we need to eradicate out of our clients' minds and make it as frictionless as possible that we can actually do business with them. Put it this way, you most likely have spoken to an accountant that's a bad accountant and they just explain all this crap terminology to you about your accounts, about franking credits, about dividends, about this, that, and the other. A lot of it goes over our heads because we're not chartered accountants. We've just heard stuff in passing, whereas we would much more appreciate if they slowed it down, they dumbed it down, and they told us exactly what it was in layman terms. And as well, when was the last time you went to, not that you frequently visit lawyers' websites, but when you do go to one, have a look at one. Just Google some sort of lawyers in Sydney or your respective city. Have a look at their website and look how much jargon and shit is on it to make them look really, to make them seem like they're authoritative and just a big figure. And all this is just intimidating words. So you're like, fuck, I don't have a clue about this. I need to hire this lawyer. But when you do hire them, you're like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And yeah, it's all kinds of words that you use in your language that you need to get rid of. So stuff like cutting edge technology, future-proof installations, no job too big or too small for all your electrical needs. We pride ourselves on, and family owned and operator, two personal peeves of mine. If you tell me your great grandfather is jumping up my roof to pull a cable, I'm getting very worried and I'm hiring somebody else. Honestly, as nice as it is and a nice gesture that you're family owned and operated, that doesn't solve the client's problem. You're better off telling them how you're going to solve their problem rather than speaking about your family. You need to speak about you for a little bit to show your authority, but that might be even flicking up your review, something like that. But the majority of your website needs to be tailored, speaking to your client who's got a problem, and that's why they're on the website. They don't want to know about Grandpa Jones jumping up in the roof space. It's such a cliche. Like, we want to eradicate cliches, and we want to just literally, as I said last night to the guys, we want to speak to a friend. We want that client to be spoken to the exact same way you would speak to a mate. If you swear at your mate, by all means, swear at your clients. That's a joke. Don't swear at your client. But there's so many cliches and things that we put out there in our marketing. And as I said, I've put my hand up. I'm guilty of this. I have done this in the past and I absolutely hate it. And I guarantee you there's some of you listening to this podcast that you're like, fuck, I've got that on my website. And it's not a big deal. Words can be changed on a website very, very easy. We just don't want the website to come across condescending, sleazy, just I'm better than you kind of vibes. And so many people fall into that trap. Whereas like if you minimize all that, you speak in a normal tone, you'd be surprised how much lead conversion you will actually get from that as well. Your lead conversion will go up 100%. When you create copy for your website, imagine if you were down the pub and you were explaining something electrical to your friend and you said, We offer holistic, bespoke solutions for all your lighting requirements. You would never fucking say that. You would say something like, we'll sort your lights out. I can install 6 LED downlights and I'll get it done next week. Like that's literally the tonality you need to bring to the website. The key really is to cut out the Weasel words. Just talk normal. People hire people they trust and nobody trusts a wanker. So whack the Weasel and I'll catch you all next week. All the links are in the bio if you need any more from me.